Now, on Friday during the Q4 earnings, the Nio CEO highlighted something very important, which is the key to profitability. And as seen on the screen, he said that with improved sales, improved gross margins, and reduction of expenses, this will make them get to profitability. And he said this during the live earnings call, right? Which is something that is very important. Now, with this, one of the things that he's betting so much on sales is because you will know that he also mentioned the autonomous driving chip that they will be utilizing, or that they will be using on the new existing models, right? And that autonomous driving chip alone is going to make Nio save, or it's going to save Nio $1,380 when they replace the 4 NVIDIA Orin chips that they were using on that they are using on the current models. This is massive. This is great because right now on each and every 2025 facelift model that Nio will be launching or will be selling, they will be using this chip. And knowing very well that Nio still intends on selling 450,000 cars this year, we could safely say if 380,000 cars that Nio sell this year are going to have this chip installed, that simply means that total savings for the year on Nio will be around $524 million, or over $524 million, which this is a massive saving for the year. This is something that is pretty good, pretty solid, pretty decent. I mean, over and above this, there is the SkyOS, which is the new operating system that their cars will be using. There are also other chips that Nio is producing, like the LiDAR sensor main controlling chip, which that alone in itself also saves Nio some pretty good money. I think the last time I checked, it was saving Nio $100 per chip, which when you add all this, you will notice that we could get to $1 billion worth of saving coming from Nio because of them doing some of these things in-house, producing these chips in-house, producing these softwares in-house, which will be so great. There is also that rear tire, the aluminum part that covers the tire that Nio is developing in-house. That alone will also save them huge costs, which all these costs could end up going to maybe over $1 billion this year, which this is very important. This is very important to say that obviously because of this, this can really help Nio get to profitability. Now, going to the second thing of gross margins, you will know that Nio with gross margins, they said for their Nio main brand models, they are expecting 20%, right, of gross margins in Q4. And they are also expecting 15% of gross margins from their family-oriented brand Onvo. We still don't know how much the gross margins will be for Firefly, but I can tell you the fact that the Nio was talking about the comments of saying that even with a tariff increase in Europe, Firefly will still do very well. It means that Firefly also has got a pretty good, decent gross margins. All these three combined, these gross margins, Nio believe that they will be able to get to gross margins of 20%. And when they get to that, it will be easier for them to get to profitability or reach profitability. I mean, the last thing he talks about is the controlling of their expenses. You will know that Nio, they launched a system called CBU, Cell Business Unit, where not only are various departments are just doing stuff, but they are doing stuff that are important to Nio, meaning that they're just not just going to do research and development on projects that won't give much return on investment for Nio, which this is another thing that is very, very important because it will cut down on the expenses that Nio has been incurring for the previous years, which this is also very important. This is important for investors to know that, look, Nio is cutting down on expenses, and we can see, or we can potentially see expenses of Nio maybe down by even over 50%, which this will be very important to help Nio get to profitability, which is why he said, when sales are increasing, gross margins improving or increasing also, and expenses decreasing, there is a higher possibility that, of course, as these others are decreasing, profitability is getting closer and closer, which that alone, I believe it's possible, because what is happening, what we've been seeing from Nio, is that even the post, they are not just posting positions and all that. They are making sure that they work with what they have. They don't hire a lot of people for now. They've paused. They want to turn to a profitable company first, then they see how they continue going further, which this is good news. This is massive. This tells us or shows us that Nio is a completely new company which is expected to do very well in the future. So yeah, man, I am happy. I am happy to see this. I was happy to hear this from the Nio CEO, because some people are not believing that Nio will double sales this year. They are not believing that Nio will get to profitability, especially after seeing a net loss of $900 million. They don't believe. But let's wait, let's see. Things should get better. Of course, what we need to see, the net losses has to reduce in Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Do we want to see these quarters or the first 3 quarters net losses improving? If there is an improvement on net losses, I'm telling you, then that will be giving us signs to say that we are getting closer to profitability, which is what, as investors of Nio, we want to see, right? So yeah, man, I just thought I'd give you these quick updates. This is what we read coming from our CEO Nio, and I must say, I'm looking forward to what can happen. I'm looking forward to the good things that will come out in Q4. I'm looking forward to Nio doubling sales this year, as per the reiteration by our CEO, and he's doing a good job, man. I mean, one thing that people tend to forget is that, of course, Nio is making sure that they remain at the top with their technology. And remember what the president of Nio said? He said, even when he talks about profitability, it is going to come and even faster and at a large scale, meaning that the moment Nio turns to profitability, it is going to be lights out, man, because it is going to be aggressive. The profitability is going to come with more aggression, which is something that we've been waiting for. I cannot wait to hear Nio getting to profitability. Otherwise, with all that, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so that you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. I will see you on the next one, and God bless you all.